Hey everyone, welcome back to Wasted 20's. We're back. We are short Leo, but he will hopefully be joining us before the end of the episode. But other than that, everyone's here, and we'll get right back into it where we left off. We left off with Uli witnessing a crime occurring in the city where he saw an ordinary-looking red-headed guard accosting a woman in an alleyway with a club, and then taking her change purse and taking off running down the other side of the alleyway. This, of course, happened after there was a large concussive sound wave coming from behind you. Whereas the two people you were following turned around to see the sound. Give me a performance check, just to see if you're able to kind of redirect their attention away.
16.
What was that? It was like an explosion.
Turned around. Same direction.
I mean, you had it too.
Yeah, that's why I turned around.
And they kind of slowly turn around and keep going.
Well, there goes that. Shit. Guess I'll have to look elsewhere.
You're passive. You hear the soft moanings of the woman in the alleyway.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go into the alleyway a little bit, slowly.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what race she is, like how.
She's really bloodied, but you see the pointed elven ears.
And the color of her skin?
No, she's not like
you. And slowly walk up and tighten my hood down a little bit so my face isn't really clear. Do you need help, miss?
Help me.
I don't know how exactly I can help you.
That god beat me.
I witnessed it, actually. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do for you. I don't know my way around here, and I honestly...
She tries to stand up, and she's able to, like, using the wall, make her way to her feet.
Is there anywhere you know you can go to be safe?
I thought that maybe I could go to the... I thought maybe I could go to see if a god would help, but he was dressed like a god, right?
I'm pretty sure you just got beaten by a god. No offense.
I mean, I'm from out of town. Are the gods here corrupt? What's...
I don't know. I'm also from out of town.
She's like holding her ribs, and she's been coughing. She's kind of trying to clear the blood off of her face. You can tell she's not really coughing up blood. She's just pretty beaten up. I think I'll be okay. I need to... Would you walk with me to go?
Yes, I'll walk with you.
I think I passed the precinct on the way here. It's not far, I believe.
All right, I'll go with you. But
so she's not really paying attention to you so much as her eyes are shifting from side to side. You know, she's obviously a bit distressed at this point. You all start making your way towards the precinct or the barracks where the guard stand would be. And as she gets closer, I can tell you don't want anyone to see your face. Thank you for coming to help me. I can do it from here.
You never met me.
I understand.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
If you see that guy, make sure he doesn't do this to anyone else.
I'm not sure I'm going to ever run into him, but we'll see.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
And she moves along. In the precinct, a couple of the guards standing outside kind of notice her coming up and rush to her aid. Some of them look towards you, but when you hear her start to describe what happened, how she was attacked from behind by what appeared to be a guard, and then vindicating you by saying that you had helped. They want to ask you a few questions. They're like, well, we need to stop him. And she's like, no, he didn't see anything. And she's able to.
Like the moment I hear that, I'm going to start slinking away. No, I don't need to do this.
They take her word that you hadn't seen anything. But had found her.
I guess I'm going to go back to what I was trying to do originally, but now a little more wary of everything around me.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Jeremiah. Yep. Where we last left off with you, Zadi had come and picked you up at the arena and had taken you off to do some minor investigation work on what she described as an increase in cultist activity. We'll kind of pick up with that with you all walking the streets looking for suspicious activity on your basic general routes.
Should we be concerned that he's tied these petty thefts to cultist activity?
No, this doesn't seem related. The old mines. They've been in the old mines. At night, reports are coming in. Strange robed figures with odd pendants.
Pendants? Have we recovered one?
No, not at this point. Not. We've also not seen any word of direct crime, but there's an increase of spotting as I'm aware that there may be something afoot. The mines at this time of day are usually full with workers, but with the festival, most people have taken off work. And
should we go take a look while it's empty?
I think perhaps we should.
Well, it's our city to keep safe. Let's do it then.
You all start making your way to the northern side of the city, where the city actually backs up to these steep, sharp-facing cliffs. And at the back are the glorified Cyril mines that kind of gave Onolkyth its initial start in economic trade and their first really valuable resource, mining jewels and precious metals, and then taking those, converting them to different things. So the second half of the city is pretty much a giant stone yard where stones are pulled from the mines, cut to size, and repurposed for whatever anyone would need of them. But as you all move through this part of the city, it's pretty much abandoned at this point. Everyone's attention has kind of focused on what's happening with the Hymnir Festival, and you all are able to move pretty much unharassed towards the mines. As you move closer towards the mines, you see these large, and when I say large, I mean like 30 feet high steel gates that are closed, blocking the mine off. A small, halfling may be able to fit between the bars, but not a full-sized.
Are they locked?
They should be.
Let me go check then.
Make a investigation. Do it with advantage because you've got something.
Okay. Investigation. 7.
They do appear to be locked.
Well, if there's cultist activity here, it's on the other side of the locked gate at least.
That's what it would appear. I'm going to go see if we can track down the foreman and see if he would be able to open it for us.
If you want to go find him, I'll stay here and keep an eye and an ear open for, I don't know, anything spooky.
Okay. Zadi agrees and moves away from you, leaving you in that position. Make a perception check for me.
When she leaves, I'm going to step out of full view of the gate, just
in case something comes.
Yeah. 17.
17 total.
Yes.
You don't hear anything abnormal per se, but you do hear the sound of running water, which is a sound that is less and less common these days with the drying up of the river coming from Alexander Lake, with the chasm opening. You've heard about this large chasm that opened across pretty much the length of the Cerro Mountains, and it's kind of it's resulted in this drought-like area where you guys are. But you hear running water.
Do I know anything about a stream or a spring that comes into or out of the mine?
Make a general intelligence check.
16.
Yes, there is actually a spring down there. I forgot to get it's called the Cerro Reservoir.
C-E-R-U-N?
C-E-R-U-L. C-E-R-O-L-M. Sorry.
Cerro. Reservoir.
The reservoir, correct. Though this is pretty deep into the mines, but it's pretty quiet here. But you do hear that water moving.
Is the gate centered in like a larger fence across like the front of the stone yard, or is it like a stone wall?
It's the face of the mountain wall with this big hollow opening.
Okay.
With a gate that pretty much covers most of it, except maybe the top one.
So it's a gate into the mountain,
correct?
Not like into the stone yard.
Right. You all made it through the stone yard.
Okay.
As you get to looking, your last investigation was 17.
Perception.
Perception. Make another investigation. 3. Okay. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary at this point.
Okay.
And we'll come back to it. Moving back to the main group that is outside of the fighting area. As you guys sit, talk, make your acquaintances, Tulok has just picked up this thunderstone and just just chucked it into a nearby alley.
Forgot about
kind
that.
of alerts everyone, and you hear a couple shrieks, and a couple people have turned, and a couple guards have shown up just to kind of inspect and make sure nothing's amiss.
And me and Dobby had the conversation. I was excited by this
Mechanical bird.
by the mechanical bird and his ability to make bombs and what bombs are. Sadly, Dobby's not here.
Well, yes, but I am here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can make more of these? You can make these bombs as you speak?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can make one at a time. I mean, I can't have a lot, but I can make them from time to time.
This is good. This pleases Tulok. You shall make fine addition to the horde.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm gonna slap him on his back. You belong to Tulok now. And then, look to Echo. Seriously, where is your brother?
Still looking at a word that loud, the weight of the stuff. Hopefully that got his attention. He'll come sooner.
Hopefully. Tell me, does that hurt?
It's uncomfortable.
Have you sought a healer? A person to mend your face?
We just got in town yesterday, and we did the tournament stuff. So no, I haven't seen one yet.
This is a large city. There should be healers.
We had other priorities to take care of. More important tasks.
Your face falling off is not more important.
It will heal. Like most ones do in time. But we had more important things to take care of.
Very well. We will wait for your brother.
Yes, I will wait, yes.
How about Click and Deborah?
Would I hear that conversation?
Yeah, you were right there.
I'd go up to Echo and I'd write on my paper real quick and just point it over, and say, I can heal it.
Devram's just sitting on the bench observing.
Okay, side note real quick.
Okay.
The way magic typically works in the form of curing is that it mends the bones back to place and stuff like that, in a sense.
For story purposes.
Well, I'm curious to how they agree. Like if someone would break the arm and then someone would cure wounds it, how would that heal it?
It would not heal the bone. It might set it back into place if the pieces were still there to restore it.
But if bone growth has already started,
My mindset
It would
would
be
be to either re-break it and then greater restoration.
to fix the wound right. It's not going to instantly repair his jawline.
that's what. Okay. Or
It would at least clear the festering.
It's not Episki from Harry Potter.
yes. So how tall are you again?
I'm not that tall.
Okay.
I'm 4 feet.
So he just leans down and pulls the mask back, revealing the infected place on the side of his face and stuff.
Okay.
And I kind of take my hand and just put it right on the festering spot and do.
You touch the festering.
Yeah.
So, roll your cure. It's a D.
Where is it? Hey.
No, it's right now.
Diamond.
It's
Yes.
plus my
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Oh,
No,
okay. That's
wisdom,
fine.
right? You're 5.
That's fine.
He touches.
Haven't lost any hit points
He,
really.
he touches the festering open wound. And there's an immediate sting from the contact with it. But as the warmth of the magic begins to spread through that wound, you feel slight relief as maybe some of the festering that had started to set in is abated back. But the wound still exists. This is a wound that maybe had something been done really immediately, it might have done more to help it. But as what make a medicine check before I give too much.
Yeah. 12.
Whatever happened didn't graze. This wasn't an artificial wound. Whatever happened actually broke the jaw here. And what is there, if anything, is sharded. It's not a solid bone anymore. Over time, this will seal itself and it will heal, but it will never be functional as another person's jaw is.
And I'd kind of just write that on the paper and show him.
Well, you're on it.
The rope what I just said.
Okay. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
We're all adults here.
Yep. Okay.
What?
Sharded.
You said sharded.
Christian and I locked eyes.
Sharded with a D, not a T.
I know.
Shattered.
There's shards there.
Splintered is another word.
Splintered. Okay, fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Never claimed to be a wordsmith.
That helped.
It was
I could feel a difference. I still sound the same, though.
And I would write on the paper as well that maybe if we try this again day by day, it will slowly get better.
You plan on following me back to my tribe? Okay. I would like that though.
And I will pluck one of my feathers and hand it to you.
What's this for?
Featherfall.
And on the paper, it would say a sign of friendship.
Thank you.
And as he goes to readjust the mask back up, he puts the feather in the side of it, so it sticks out.
Got this little black feather.
Yeah.
So you pulled out one of your betas and gave him that. Anything in Devron's little world? No.
Well then, who of us shall enter into Devon's world?
This bench is cool.
So,
Leo's here. Leo's made it.
Hooray!
You're driving really fast with your hair look all frizzy.
You just made it worse. So you got like horns. I don't even care.
Sure.
Thank you. Welcome. Glad you could come.
It's like you're trying to go Super Saiyan, but we're not really sure yet.
You know, I pretty much might as well.
Might as well.
After how fast I was going.
I'm gonna get there.
No cops.
I'm gonna get there.
Makami.
Would Makani have heard the thunderous?
She would have.
Makani will go investigate.
You make your way out, and you see the group of people that you have been privy to still standing here conversing. They don't seem to be... the big guy is a little worked up by it, but in a good kind of way. Everyone else is just kind of... You see the other big guy kind of laying down with the individual you know to be Click, having a conversation.
Is everybody okay? What was that?
it was wonderful toy this man make. They are bombs.
What is a bomb?
It is a thing you throw. And
That's what I heard. I heard a bomb.
yes,
The thunderstorm.
he shall make many of them so I can take over cities.
Are you going to take over this city?
One day, it shall be mine.
There's a lot of guards here.
That's amazing.
And that only makes it more fun.
He will take all of their eyeballs and then he will
Yes.
rule this city.
I understand.
I understand.
Is your mask pulled down still?
No, it's back up. As I was getting up, I was putting it back up.
Some people would like to know that wasn't a bomb.
Oh,
No, he said it was a bomb. It's a bomb.
It was not the bomb. It's a magical stone. No.
I want to throw the bomb.
Next time.
if this is not bomb, then what is bomb?
You should meet my friends.
Do you have bombs?
No, I didn't grab any.
Can you make bomb?
I have a general idea.
Then begin. Dazzle us with your craftsmanship.
After you go buy materials.
Too luck does not buy.
Not much of books I come across. Ever come across anything about crafting explosives like that?
No, there wouldn't have been anything in that book.
No, and just in general, because my father gathered books. For us.
Over the course of your life.
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
sorry, I misunderstood. Big history check.
Ye old anarchist cookbook.
Exactly. History.
Yeah.
That would be an 18.
Yeah, you would have heard kind of how bombs and more prevalently gunpowder were kind of used in the wake and the waxing of industrialization.
I have an idea how long it may take.
Right.
It's not something he could do quickly if he could do it correctly.
No, it takes time, so I'm not trying to die.
He has a city to take over. This cannot take a long time. Oh no. Don't worry, we will figure it out.
Yes.
Are you still standing here? Because your brother told you to?
I'm waiting for him to come back, yes.
Maybe. Actually, he came to me and he told me to tell you that you can leave now.
Inside her.
Deception, oh my god.
Oh, yeah. My box. Too.
Yeah, box be awesome. Okay. We got over there.
It's 8.
I doubled that.
She is trying her
Yeah.
best to be really sweet.
But if I leave, he won't know where I went. So I think it'd be best just to stay here to be safe.
Don't worry, I will tell him where you go.
But how would you tell him?
Why don't we leave a note?
We'll leave a note right here, right where you were standing, and it would say, oh, what is your name again?
It's Echo.
Echo was here, and now he's with a Makani.
But you never met my brother.
I will draw a picture of what I look like. And this way he will know how to find me.
I'm gonna stay right here.
Can I try and push him out of place?
You can absolutely make a contested check.
Oh boy.
Luke's going back.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Oh
Okay.
No.
no! 12.
Yeah, I rolled a 2. So 4.
Which way do you push him?
What? I don't know. I don't know where everyone is standing.
He's standing up against the wall.
Oh, well then I try to push at his side. I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to help you, Echo.
So, Makani was successful in making you move from your spot and is now occupying your spot.
I stand beside her.
It's roughly the same area, so it's fine.
Don't make me keep pushing you, Echo. Please, just leave.
I'm waiting for my brother. He should return.
Should and will, not always the same.
But why do you let him tell you to do things?
Is he stronger than you?
We're brothers. We're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to take care of our tribe, and he's taking care of business for it.
So your way of taking care of the tribe is just to stand here.
He's better at talking than I am.
I think you're pretty good at talking. You've talked to me a whole lot, and I like talking to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I push him again.
Yeah.
It's a 22.
21.
As you all are talking, she just kind of...
Can you stop that?
Stand back up. Dust myself off and stand against the wall.
Oh, I didn't mean to knock you. I would have helped you up. I'm very strong. Mighty.
Okay, cool. I'm holding an action.
Okay, great.
It's really. Oh, well, not yet. Not yet.
The
So,
face of betrayal.
not yet holding it. So,
I just think you should be able to do what you want.
And I am.
Does this make you happy standing here?
I'm waiting for him.
Does it?
And I have my books that I was reading before everyone came over here. I like reading, and that makes me happy.
looking at everyone.
Can I go back to reading?
No.
At this time, you hear in the fighting area, they've started to call the next fighters as the next round begins. You hear Azaric, go up, and you do realize it's spelled B-E-A-R like a bear, right?
Then you spelled it wrong, twat.
We have bear beard. It's written B-E-A-R.
Then you spelled it wrong.
Well, okay, bear beard, you're up next.
Fine.
So, bear beard and Azaric take their place, and he opens up the gate towards the fighting arena for this to start.
Hold this.
Takes a sip of it.
Yeah, roll that con check.
You roll really well. It's good stuff.
You're welcome.
Is Eric not making any contact with you? Just, you all move forward. As you,
I'm not sure I can make eye contact in the current state. I'm just like,
you all make your way out to the center of the large fighting arena where everyone starts to cheer again. And the queen stands up, Queen Sierra. Thank you, everyone, as we begin round 3 of the culmination of the Hinmere Festival. Just a few announcements. We had a few competitors from our last round advance to the next round. The fighter Makani and the fighter Elena move on to their next rounds without need for competition.
Woo, Makani is the best! I love her so much!
And on that note, good luck, fighters. You may begin. And Sarah kind of gives you all a look, and Azra just turns away from you and makes his paces. And on that note, roll initiative. I got 18.
13.
As Azaric is standing there, he flicks his wrist, and this curved, hooked blade appears in his hand with what appears to be a raven on the hilt. And he twirls it and jabs it into the ground, and as he jams it into the ground, you feel your body start to tense up. And then you feel weak as this dark energy begins to coalesce around you. And from the hilt of the sword, a blast flies at you. 15? That is 10 points of damage. And he...
What is it? What is this? Ow.
And then he kind of stands there with the sword.
Ah! I'm going to charge at him.
With a lot of conviction in that.
I'm going to clearly rage, and I'm going to go ahead. Can move my movement up to him. Okay. And I'm going to reckless.
Okay. Swing.
21.
That hits.
Hit him good.
Eat his butt.
7 slashing damage.
7? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. You carve into it and you see it make damage, but he doesn't give up any ground. And he pulls the sword out of the ground and makes a swing on you.
Yep.
15, 21.
Yep.
14 points of damage.
What kind of damage?
It's magical. Okay. His blade is magic.
Okay.
If it's slashing, though.
It's magical slashing. Because they have resistance from non-magical sources, right? Barbarians? Is it non-magical source?
Yeah, correct. I'm double check real quick.
I think it's later on.
I forgot Barbarians like the first one.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Eddie.
Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
That doesn't say from non-magical?
Doesn't state that.
Okay, then you would take half that, so 7.
Hooray! How much was it altogether?
You took
Is it 14?
This one.
right, and then before it was 10, so 17 altogether so far.
But that one was 14, so I got minus 7. Okay, so that there. Okay. I got it.
And you'll go.
Then I'm gonna shimmy around him and hit him again. Reckless. Whoa. Yes, he is. Unnatural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
$15 slashing.
Yeah. Okay. He again takes another deep hit on you. This time he looks a little worse for wear on this one, and when he retaliates with another flourish on you with his hooked blade. That's a natural 19.
Yes.
That is 12, 16 points damage. It's the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. I was hearing voices. That's what I was like, no, not again.
Nope. That wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it's fine.
16 half is 8. After he hits you, he kind of smirks at you and snaps his finger, and he vanishes. Appears 30 feet behind you, and then backs up another 15 feet.
Mm-hmm. Was that 7?
It was 8.
8, yeah. Just kidding. Oh, okay, so I was totally wrong.
So he's now 45 feet away from you.
Oh. Have it up, so it's 26. For 120.
Okay. I'm going to move up my full movement,
Okay.
which is 25.
Okay.
And he's still how far from me?
What is it?
He's still how far from me?
After 25, he's 20 feet away from you.
Okay, and I'm gonna drop my battle axe and quickly chuck a javelin at him.
Okay.
And you can't write this.
Can't write this on that one.
Yes, and this 8.
That misses. He kind of steps to the side of the javelin as it whizzes past his head, and he points the hilt of the sword at you again and fires another blast. Uh, 13? No, yeah, 13.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay. 13 points of force damage.
No.
Down. As the blast hits you in the chest, you fall. You're lifted off your feet. And you fall, and you fall into your back as the crowd erupts, and everyone's just kind of cheering for him. And he throws the sword into the air, and the sword vanishes midair, and he just makes his way back to the fighting area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what'd you forget?
Frenzy. I could have hit him again.
I was wondering what path barbarian you went. I should have known. So on that, Azaric will move on to the 4th and final round. And at this point, he reaches the back. A bunch of healers come out and they get beard up.
Yeah! There you alcohol!
We've got your alcohol back here, sir.
Are you alcohol?
I am not alcohol.
Then you're not gonna help me.
Yes, but let's get you back here so we can get you a beer.
Like you already. Let's go.
And then he kind of like hoists you up, and
Yeah, I won this.
then you'll make your way back. Uli. You had been looking around. Make a perception on them. Real quick.
Say perception.
Mhm.
That's a 18.
You see a man walking from the arenas who has a series of pouches on his waistband. Doesn't seem to be paying attention to you.
They look valuable.
Some of them do appear to have coin in it.
Gonna slightly follow him
Great.
a little bit and see if I can go in for a quick snatch and grab.
Okay. Make a stealth. And I'm going off of his passive perception. So.
It's 25.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Yeah. He has no idea that you're
I'm gonna slowly get closer and kind of like try to let the wind get one and cut it off.
following. Roll a d8. Or you can choose. There's 4 on this side and 4 on this side. Which one are you going for?
So is his back facing me?
Yes.
Okay, if his back's facing me, then probably the closest one over there.
Okay, so
Left side.
Left back. Okay. Okay. So going ahead and make your sleight of hand.
It's an interesting choice.
What am I doing?
Sleight of hand.
17.
Don't roll as you join. He continues walking, and you reach in and grab a pouch. And you cut it. And the pouch comes off. No problem. He continues walking without realizing what you've done. And here you stand.
I'm gonna find the first closest place I can dart into.
There would be an alley within 5 or 10 feet from you.
I'm gonna move into the alley and then check the pouch real quick.
In the pouch, you see 3 platinum, 4 gold, and then a pendant about yay big.
He's really pulling for hard candy.
That's exactly what I'm looking for this whole time. Because I know if I bring it back to her, she's gonna be like,
Werther's Original's my favorite.
Exactly. I just can't find that gold that I'm looking for.
This candy tastes like old Uli.
3 platinum, 4 gold, and
Those
what?
are amazing.
3 platinum, 4 gold. And then a small silver pendant. I say small, but about.
Does it look cold?
It's not Flavor Flav, but
It's not Flavor Flav big, but
I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the last one. I'm gonna pour it into mine.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna cut it open and leave it in the alley.
Did you examine the pendant at all? Or did you just see that it was pendant?
I like gave it a quick glance, I guess, just to see if there's anything like other than that. It's just silver.
It appears to be a silver pendant, but the pendant is it's a waxing moon. Sorry.
Look it up, it's important.
No, sorry, it's a waning moon that curves like this with a sapphire inset to complete the rest of the moon. And the moon appears to be bleeding down the rest of the pendant.
If I see that within quick glance of trying to put it into my pouch, I'm gonna pull it back out.
Quest item, quest item, quest item.
You threw it.
And I tighten my pouch and I'm gonna walk over.
Okay. You've discarded the pendant, you've discarded the bag, and you move on about
Declined the quest.
Jeremiah.
Just to be clear, it looks too personal.
No, I guess it.
You've been waiting for a little bit.
Kind of like step back, like under an eave, just where I could keep an eye out, but kind of be shadowed like myself. I'm just twiddling my thumb.
Zodi returns with a squat dwarven man who is kind of like twirling a set of keys from his finger. Native to the mines, do you?
Yes.
All
Maybe.
right. And he kind of reaches up as high as he can and shoves a key and unlocks the gate, and the gates then open.
I want to take a mental picture of the key. Does it look ornate in any way, shape, or form? Just a big old iron key?
Right. There are probably 5 different keys on this ring.
Mm-hmm.
And this one would be like almost a pewter color.
But do they all look like similar?
No. This would be the only pewter key.
Okay, gotcha. Does anybody else have one of those?
Nope, only me.
This might be a silly question, but are you a cultist?
I can't say that I am.
I'm just gonna read question.
Make an insight.
He solved the mystery right out the gate.
And as I'm like looking at him real hard, I kind of wink at Zadi.
He's the final boss.
That's 4.
Yes.
As far as you can tell, to this man's knowledge, he is not a cultist.
He's the cult leader.
Got to thinking, maybe I'm a cultist, I just don't know.
We've been seeing people hanging out in the mine yard at night. I don't know where they're from. I don't know who they are. They don't work here.
What, just like hoodlums, thugs,
No,
kids?
black robes, silver pendant about yay big.
Glad he finished the sentence.
Have you reported that to the guard?
Yes, that's assumedly why you all are here.
Right, that's why I pointed Zadi. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
I'm just gonna step back and let him open the gate.
No, I guess the whole time he's like standing here like this, like my armpits smell real bad. Let me open, and he kind of opens the gate up and lets you two in.
How bright is it?
In the
Outside?
cave.
In the cave.
It's a little past midday right now.
Okay.
So the cave, I would say you've got light for maybe 60 or 70 feet, and then it'll move to dim for probably the same.
Okay. Are there any visible light sources that are currently lit?
There are torches that would be lit during working hours, but
They're not
currently
currently. All right. We're just gonna do a routine check.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I wouldn't go very deep in. I would, I wouldn't. There are a couple of old abandoned shops. I wouldn't go those. They're pretty obvious.
Okay. Do you have a layout? Is there a handy "You Are Here" map right inside the cave?
I mean, I've got one back in the trailer if you want.
Don't worry about it.
So you kind of.
Oh, I'm gonna wing it.
Yeah. So you guys move in. You don't have dark vision. I don't believe Zadi does either. Do lizard folk have dark vision?
Last time I checked,
I think everybody but humans do, right?
No.
almost.
I have every book. So give me a
Goliath.
second.
I don't have
As well. Don't
to
have dark vision though.
Lizard folk.
Yes.
They do not.
No. Okay.
I assume we both carry small hooded watch lanterns, but I'm trying to avoid taking it out to draw attention to ourselves. So at least going to explore the first, you said 50 feet and then 50 feet of dim?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. So
You all move in, I would say after about 90 feet. The cave opens up to this. It's a tall cavern, but it's only tall in the regards that it goes down.
Okay.
So the ceiling doesn't really change, but it
Gotcha.
goes down in.
Okay.
And you would see a series of mine track or
Cart
cart
tracks,
tracks and
okay.
carts that have been set. Some of the carts are filled with filled with rocks, some of them with coal, some of them have a few precious jewels in it, where it looks like people had finished their work and then moved on.
Just do a cursory glance over those, just for anything out of the ordinary.
Do a investigation.
Got to be.
And give it advantage because Zadi's up.
That was a 0.
Oh.
Oh wow.
That's a 9.
You're not
Okay,
very
you
good
take-
at this watching.
You take the left, I'll go right. And then just don't go far.
Okay.
And then so Zadi kind of moves off on her own. Shit, her investigation. It's terrible.
We're the worst guards.
If I can't see after that
With
initial distance, I'm going to pull out the little hooded lantern,
you,
put the hood on to where it focuses the beam in front of me, and then hang on with it.
you see that she notices that she does the same thing. Give it another go, but this time on your own. So she's gonna roll her own.
14.
Yeah, which she got. You all start to work your way around. Zadi stops here, and you keep working your way around, and you'll come to about the same place where Zadi is going through what appears to be a little bit of debris on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old bloody boot. There is a small pendant, and there is a torn piece of paper.
Would you call me over?
Yeah.
So there's nothing on my side?
No,
I would.
no. So she was sitting there going through it, and then you kind of made your way back on as she was kind of like sorting through
If we're like 2/3 of the way through the room, I'm going to do a quick glance toward the end of the room.
Yeah.
To see if I see the end of the room or the exit.
You would, like, where y'all came in, or like leaving out of the
Further in,
chamber?
further down.
Further down. There's a few. There's a few that are boarded off, and actually the one that she's in front of is boarded off as
Okay, gotcha.
well. But there are 2 ways that are not boarded off.
Okay.
And through the rightmost one is the one where you hear the water getting stronger.
Okay. I'm going to continue the circuit around the room to meet up with her.
Yeah.
And just stop, take a look, and listen down each of the open ones before I meet up with her.
She, you're not able to really see anything through the closed board.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, the open ones. I
the
wouldn't worry
open
about the
ones.
closed
The
ones.
open ones go down too far. You wouldn't really get a whole lot of look beyond twisting tunnel. But you do see her. She's kind of holding this pendant in one hand. The boot is in front of her, and she's kind of like trying to make sense of this torn piece of paper. But it is like you get the words of participation, name, Bula.
Of participation. Name.
Bula. B-U-L-A. And the pendant, if you shine the light on it, has a large sapphire with the moon that's bleeding.
I look inside the boot.
You look inside the boot. There's nothing really in the boot.
Just checking
It's
if there
just-
wasn't a
it's just
foot
got a
in the
little bit
room.
of blood in it.
Okay. Big boot, little boot?
Little boot.
Like little boot?
Like this big.
Like child?
Like halfway gnomish size.
Okay.
Tiny fruit.
Tiny.
Using my knowledge of the people, or like the kind of people who would work in there, does that correlate?
There are a few gnomes that work in the mine.
Okay, so that wouldn't spark any.
Not
Okay.
maybe not, but
Perfect.
kind of odd. There's just a bloody boot, but
So we have a boot, we have a fancy pendant, and what looks like a participation trophy, or the remnants of one.
I think that that looks like the papers that they hand out for the tournament. Right. Right? It's got the little crest at the bottom. The royal family.
Whose spot did I take? Bula?
Oh shit.
Oh! I
It's
back
your
up
fault
against
this
the wall
person is
and I
dead.
look the fuck around. Actually, I go peek at the boarded up entrance that it's right in front of.
Yes.
Looking for signs that it's been opened and reclosed
Make an
recently.
investigation.
Need a
Advantage,
corkboard
'cause she's
with
right
red
there.
yarn.
I know,
Like, connect
yeah.
everything.
16.
The bottom two most boards are very loose.
Start like getting the heebie-jeebies. And I guess I'm gonna like just pull at one with my foot a little bit, see if it like pops off like it's meant to pop off.
Make a strength check. It's not a high DC.
So Bula,
16.
They just didn't show up, right?
It shouldn't show up.
Okay.
What is it? I'm
16.
16? Yeah, I mean, you get your foot under it and it pops right off.
Okay. I just want to only the bottom one so I can lean down and shine my lantern underneath. Holding an action. Like get my little torch it out.
In this one, you see evidence of minor amounts of cave-in. But
How
you, 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
But it's not a total complete blockage.
Okay.
You're able to actually see that it still winds on back that way.
Zadi, if I'm not mistaken, Bula was the person who didn't show up for the tournament whose spot I took. And I don't think she didn't show up just because she lost her boot.
I'm sure. We need to see if anyone knows more about this particular pendant.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Make a
Any religious groups in the area? Anything even similar?
make a religion or history check, your choice.
Knowledgeable religion.
Screw that box.
Actually, 20.
Natural 20. You know
So
that
21.
this pendant belongs to a group known as the Occluded Moon.
Do I know anything about?
You know that the
Grab this one, guys.
got to find my notes here. Where did I write it? I'm so sorry.
I pull out my little notepad and start flipping back through for any notes I had on them. And I pull out a little curvy hand pipe and I start smoking while I get the
It's not a mystery.
You know that the Occluded Moon, I can't seem to find my notes on it, but this is what I remember off the top of my head. The Occluded Moon worshipped the moon Dalamond.
Dalamon.
Dalamond.
Do I know anything about? Is that a?
Dalamond is it's by them meant to be the deity. It's a moon. That the moon makes all things possible. The sun rises because the moon turns. That it's more of kind of a the sun or the stars, not the center of the universe. The moon.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's very much a cultist mentality more than a religion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
But they perceive it as a they worship it. Generally, in what you know of them, they're very non-aggressive.
I look at non-aggressive in my notes, and I look at the bloody boot on the ground. I put a question mark next to the non-aggressive.
And then circle it a couple times.
By George, we have a murder mystery.
But
on
yeah,
hand.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe that we need to take this and have someone look at it. I don't think we should go take it.
Is there anything we could do to? I don't know. Shit, I don't know what to do.
Smoke your butt.
Yeah.
Go into your mind palace.
Mind palace.
Zadi, I was so excited for something that wasn't petty thievery or drunken brawl, and I think we've just stumbled into it, and now I don't know what to do.
I really just hope that they're in town for the tournament. enjoying the festivities the same as always. They'll leave once it's done. I really hope that this isn't a sign of something larger.
I mean, even if it's not a sign of something larger, this was supposedly. Do I know the name as somebody from the city? Have I ever heard that name in the city before?
Bula?
Yeah.
No, Bula would not have been from Onolkyth. And
I mean,
I did find my notes. Dalamud, it's Dalamud.
I mean, at least, though, it appears that this was a murdered guest to our city.
I don't know if this is a murder. I mean, it points to it, but this is a mine, after all.
I mean, it's a murder, or it's like bunions. Like hella bunions.
I mean, bunions bleed, right? Look, either we go through and we go deeper and we look, or we go get a little bit of help.
We need to get help. Do we have police tape?
Please.
I say that in character. We have tape. No. We have. What are there any tracks? Like examining the ground right in front. Are there any tracks going through?
Make a investigation.
Advantage.
I know you're so good at it. Yeah.
Rolling better. 14. Is that 15?
It's 15.
You do see a couple tracks that move in and out of this area.
Okay. I want to take my foot or something, and for right in front of the opening, and like in a small radius on the outside, I want to smooth out the dirt as best I can. Put the board back and smooth out the dirt.
Okay.
So that if something were to come through, I would know that it happened between when I left here and when I come back with help.
Got it. So you would know if something's messed with it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So you and Tazadi begin to make your way out of the mine.
Should we take the boot, or
Please, it's evidence.
well, I know, but it's also evidence to if somebody comes out that somebody was here and now knows that somebody is dead or has bunions.
I don't believe whoever that boot belonged to.
Well, I know what I'm worried about. If these non-aggressive cultists come out of hiding and they see that it's not where they left it, and the person who left it there couldn't have walked away with it, then that means somebody
Leave the
knows.
boot, bring the pendant, and
Okay, that's fair. And I asked her to put it back, like right where she found it.
so she's like, you all get it.
I pick up some dirt and I like sprinkle some dirt on top.
So it's not been moved.
Yeah.
At this point, the next participants are called forward. Gug, click. You're next. And everyone starts to kind of move forward.
Good luck, Click. I hope you kill them dead.
Cut his fucking head off.
That's not how you win. It goes.
What?
Good luck.
And then I'd sit there and grab my holy symbol and turn it away.
You all make your way out to the fighting area, make your way to the center. The queen again gives her blessing, and you all move your 30 pieces. Roll initiative.
Hmm.
8.
3.
I want to, and you said we're about 30.
You all are about 30 feet apart.
And then I want to move back 30 feet, and I want to cast Sacred Flame on them.
Okay, that's a dex save.
Yes.
Just imagine the little
16.
Yeah, he passes.
Okay, so no damage taken. Gug takes his battle axe. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Not currently.
Takes his battle axe and he moves up to you. And he attacks you. That's a natural 19 plus 5, 24.
Can I ask real
Oh,
quick?
that barely.
Yes.
He was 60 feet away.
Yeah, what's his
Oh, they are 60 feet.
Yeah, it was like,
So
what?
it moves up, God damn! It moves up 30 and then.
He's a good boy.
And when I move back 30,
Yes.
I had been saying that all the fights, they were 30 feet apart.
Yeah.
But he
And
said
then
he
he took
moved
another
back.
30
They moved
feet
back.
back.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what he said, yeah.
That's why I was like, what? What is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I
So,
went,
He's got the boots
And
of
then you move
speed,
back
plus
30 feet.
this and that.
then sacred flame again.
He's the
Meta.
That is a 4.
hey, that does not pass.
Melt his face.
He only takes 1 radiant damage.
Oh my gosh.
You whittle him down slowly.
He attempts to move and it just catches, kind of like sizzles his arm a little bit. And this time he's going to take a full sprint charge at you. And so he's going to move up. He basically gets up to you, but he has no action because he had to sprint.
Nice.
And then that is when I shall do words of radiance on him.
Okay, read the spell for me.
You utter a divine word, and burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6.
That's an 18.
He passes.
Okay. You moving?
But I do make sure to have my shield out,
So you pull your shield out.
and then I.
When you move, he's going to make an opportunity attack. It's not one, so no. Good job, he's going to move upon you, and he's going to. He's not angry yet, but he attacks you, but he does reckless with it. That's only a 13. So miss. Okay, here you go.
And then from that point, I'm kind of just getting a little bit tired of this whole back and forth, so I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
What's up?
What'd you get?
It's only a 10.
Yeah, that'd be a miss.
And then that's all I can do right now.
Did you move?
Yeah.
After that, so he'll make another opportunity. 14? No. Wait, did you do that attack at advantage?
I was ready to say that, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have advantage because he reckless.
And I'm switching dice for this.
Much better.
19.
So your inflict wounds does.
The rule shark thing.
What?
Huh? What?
Our residential roll shark didn't speak up there.
I was looking up something. Leave me alone.
I was totally looking for something to roll shark.
I can't rule shark for barbarians.
Back and forth.
I guess I can technically. Yeah.
21 necrotic damage.
Gosh.
10 damage, man. It's awesome.
He looks rough.
Probably pissed.
Now he's going to.
And then you moved away.
And possibly decaying.
I mean, you hit him, and he just like the black veins move through him. This is more like it. And he rages and moves towards you, and is going to reckless on you.
And you both are like,
20 to hit.
That hits.
4 plus 5 is 9 damage.
Okay.
And that was with reckless, so you do get advantage on your next attack.
And then with my next attack, I want to go back through with what I've been doing. And I want to move back and do Sacred Flame.
So you move back, so he's going to make an opportunity.
Move back to total death.
16 hit?
Nope.
Oh no, I have to make a dex save.
Yeah.
That one. 16.
Yes. And then I'm just gonna end my turn right there and see what he's gonna do.
He's gonna move up to you. And he's gonna attack. No rifles this time. 15.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold my ground and just go hit him.
I'm just gonna hit him. Okay.
23?
That hits.
Oh, yeah.
5 bludgeoning.
He kind of, I mean, you can tell he's just hanging on a thread. You cracked him with your weapon and he just is barely standing.
And I'm just going to stand there and kind of stiffen my shoulders up and stand.
He's going to make this attack is desperation, so reckless. That's a 22.
That hits.
Roll ones.
7 damage.
Damn, Cliff's a beast, actually.
Alright, and with that, I'm just going to look at him. My eyes emotion is kind of sorrowful. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit him again.
Double back.
Roll with advantage.
You got advantage.
20.
That's a hit.
6 bludgeoning.
How do you want to do it?
I'm just going to take the blunt end of my mace and kind of hit him, and then just go back down and spare the dying. So it's
He comes at you with this swing, and as he's swinging at you, you just and he falls right in front of you, unconscious.
and then just take the feather off.
And the crowd's like, "Wow, we love Click!
We're mistaken. We're both
Did you
losing
see
Click.
What?
Click's gonna beat everyone.
Clerics are great, dude.
I will say this though. How many spells you burned though, man?
I still got 1 second and 1 first.
He only burned 1 during that fight.
Yeah, that was
Cantrips.
The rest
Right.
are cantrips, yeah.
I knew that second one was. I didn't know what that second one was. The
Inflict wounds?
radiant one.
Oh,
No,
it's
Words of
Word
Life.
of Radiance. This is
Okay. Okay.
And then once I get out of the arena, I'll turn my symbol back over.
Click, you did so amazing! I'm so proud of you. Why didn't you fly though? You could have attacked him like the lady I fought earlier. She flew.
And then I just write on my book, I'm cursed, I can't fly.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Maybe I can fly. I've never really tried. I mean, I can jump really high, but meaning no offense. But I'm going to try later.
visiting back the people who are still standing outside. Dobby, Tulok, Devram, and...
But Connie went in. Echo went back to his spot.
Okay.
Do you just like creep over with your books?
Yeah, back where he was standing, yeah.
Yeah, she would have gone in to watch the fight for sure.
Anything interesting happening with our group?
Real turn pager.
Real turn.
Literally, you're like,
Page turn?
Yep.
He's
Turn
turning
turn
books.
pager. Yep.
Spell circles for dummies. Ooh.
I guess Tulok will go and sit down next to Devlin.
Okay.
Just,
Not saying anything.
not saying anything, just sitting there.
What's Dobby doing?
It's a good question. What is that we're doing?
You have a very pungent odor around you as well.
Yep.
This group of people just got smaller.
Echo feels at home now.
This now begins the intermission between the third and the fourth round. So, if anyone wants to come out of the fighting arena now and rejoin the main group, they're more than welcome to bring their characters out.
go back to the main group, kind of towards him, and just kind of.
Did you win?
He did. He was so amazing.
Praise Ouijas!
But
Oh, I
what?
know what you do.
What does that mean? What is a Ouija?
Ouijas is my goddess. She guides me when there is no light. We are the dividing line between life and death. Amen.
That's a pretty important line.
Mm.
That's amazing.
Spit on Deborah's shoe. Just shaking my head.
Yeah. Devon's just sitting here, arms crossed, like taking all of this in.
Everyone who's outside, make a perception.
That didn't even roll. That just slid.
Nothing.
I got 6.
I'm too busy talking about Ouija.
You're not, unless you came back to them.
Oh, yeah. I'm right here.
24.
Okay.
I'm in my book.
Okay.
I'm too disgusted.
10. I'm listening about Ouijas.
We're all captivated.
6.
Stacks up for Devon observing.
As Tulok spits on your shoe, you kind of turn your head and look, and as you look up, you see this little creature with wings, white, with a puffy white ball over its head, with a satchel around its waist, kind of floating down the street.
Okay, can I do some kind of check?
Sure. Make a
Nature? What
Yeah,
is
make a
this
nature.
thing? Do I know what this thing is? 5?
It's a floating fluff ball.
Yeah, slipping you. And it as it approaches,
Is it coming towards us?
Yes.
Okay.
It kind of flies up to you and
To me?
stops floating in front of you. I got a letter for you, Kubo.
Look at the big guy.
And it's holding this parcel in front of you.
Thank you.
You can change your appearance for 7 days.
What? I'm lost. Okay.
You're welcome, Kubo. And he just flies off.
Does it say anything on the front or back?
It's to Devon worst.
Okay. Okay. Let me open it. And
I'm being nosy.
You open this letter, and it's real short, sweet,
Okay.
simple. The old man's not awake yet. I'm going to stay with him in case he wakes up. If anything changes, I will send you parcel through Moogle.
through what?
Moogle.
Okay.
What is Moogle?
I have no idea.
Well, how do you not know?
I'm assuming it's that thing.
Anyone except for Tulok can make a nature check if they want. At that question.
I rolled
Counting
a
without
1.
On nature?
No,
On
on
perception.
my perception.
He's
I rolled-
lost.
Oh, so you're
I
not
mean,
paying attention.
Tulok's being
Yeah.
loud.
I mean, if I heard the word,
What is Moogle?
Final Fantasy thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's a like Ouijas.
for nature,
I got the
Yeah.
15.
which my reading come in handy. 6.
You know that Moogles are fey creatures.
24.
24? Okay, so the two of you know that Moogles are fey creatures that are used partnership with as mail carriers.
Davi wants one.
If okay.
Hey, Click, can you make this sound? Whoa.
On that, Uli, what you doing, buddy?
After I've gotten rid of this stuff, I'm probably moving out around, looking for. Honestly, don't. Actually, I'm looking around and trying to notice all the different races, if any of them are even close to me.
Okay. Give me 2 perception checks as you walk around the city.
21 is the first one.
Okay.
And then 13 is the next one.
You see the majority of races that you're seeing in the city are dwarves and gnomes. But there are a few elves sprinkled in. There's a few lizard folk sprinkled in. Being that there's a large festival, there's a larger concentration of other types of races too. You've seen a few orcs, a few half-orcs. You've seen a few Aarakocra. You've seen one or two Furbolg. You've seen a couple Goliath. I mean, you've seen a wide variety, but nothing that you're specifically looking for.
What is there to do around here? City's boring. I'm just looking around, trying to figure out, and then, is there by any chance like a large bell when I know like the fighting's going on? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then I guess I know that's when one ends or begins, I'd assume, possibly. And I'm like, okay, trying to figure out exactly how much time I have in order to get back or to.
You would have heard the chimes for the bells that indicate the beginning of an intermission. You know, it's about an hour before the next one starts.
Okay, so then I've still got some time to do some more things if I need to.
Sure.
And I'm just actually going to look around to see if anything piques my interest.
Take another. What would Uli find interesting?
Anything to do with things that he hasn't had. Yeah. Like like different drinks or different customs, things like that.
You do, while you're kind of walking the streets, you do come across a kind of homely looking building with this kettle on the front of it, with a sprig of grass hanging out of the side of it, kind of painted. But it's called the Better Kettle. It's an apothecary.
Is the door open or is it closed?
It's open for business.
And then I'm going to walk in.
Yes. You see an older gnomish woman, peppered grayish hair, pulled back into a little bun, and she's sitting with this kind of cauldron sitting up, and she's kind of mixing things and stirring things up. Well, hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today? Enjoying the festivities?
Very much so.
Me too. It always brings such a colorful group of people in.
What do you do here exactly?
Well, we make potions, oils, perfumes. We sell components. We sell a platitude of different things. Things that maybe you will find yourself in need of.
Seeing as the things that I do, I'm not sure that many things you have is something I need.
But what do you do, dear?
A performer.
You're a performer.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's see. And she kind of pops off her little stool where she's been mixing things, and she's still mixing it with this hand, and she grabs a bottle and sits at the top. She's like, okay, so this one will actually make you larger. This one will make you invisible.
Come on. You had to leave with that one.
Look, it's a major corporation, okay? It's a major...
I'll take that first one. Okay.
For performers, I think that's just about the only thing. You know, I do have this,
Did you say invisible?
Yes. And then we've also got this one. It's a silver tongue potion.
What does that do?
It makes you a good talker for 1 hour.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, I mean, those are the ones that I've got now. If you had something more...
Do you have anything that may make someone unconscious?
Oh, well, yes. And she reaches back and I suppose it's a little maybe 10 mil vial. This it goes well on the tips of daggers and on the tips of arrowheads.
May I look at it?
Of course.
I'm gonna take it, look over it. I doubt it's anything like what we used to use at home.
Where's home, dear?
Far from here. It's been so long, I don't even remember the name.
That little beauty is made from, it's an extract of foxglove, and it actually has a chance of making someone incapacitated. But I would say you've got maybe five arrowhead uses there, 1 vial would coat a dagger.
And how much is this?
50 gold.
$50, you say? I kind of opened my pouch and looked down. Take it later.
Maybe later?
Maybe later.
Okay, well, if you find yourself in need of any concoctions, I do take work on commission as well.
Thank you, I guess. You probably won't see me after this.
You know, it happens.
Thank you. Take care.
You're welcome. And she kind of goes back to her dropping little bits and stuff into the cauldron. You make your way out.
And I'm actually going to sit for a minute and look around and just watch people.
It's people watching for the moment. People watching. I'll come back to you. Jeremiah, you and Zodi have made your way back to the precinct. You head back in.
Real quick, is the healer's tent before or after?
It would be before you all get to the barracks.
Jeremiah would peek his head in there to see if there was a halfling or gnome or possibly small dwarf that was missing a foot or a boot.
You would find that other than like sprained ankle or something, no halflings or gnomes have come in.
Okay.
Just keep watching.
There is one dwarf wearing boots.
You get back to the precinct and you all walk in, and a tallish for a dwarf comes up to you. Jeremiah.
Captain,
Hurmand is his name. Hurma.
what's that? Focus attack. Captain, we were looking into the cultist activity you mentioned over in the mines, and I was want to dismiss it as rumor and speculation, and was quite hopeful that was the case, but we found something.
And what have you found?
Well, we found a bloody boot. We found what appears to be the certificate of participation in the tournament for one Ula. I stepped into their place when they didn't show, and this could have been why. We also found an amulet or medallion belonging to the occluded moon.
The occluded moon, you say?
Yes, the supposed non-violent cultist group.
I get where you're going, boy. But let's have it. Can I see it?
Sorry.
And Sadi hands over and he starts looking at it. And as he's kind of inspecting the pendant, you hear a shriek from the other side of the precinct as this bloody-faced woman looks up at you. That's him! That's the man that accosted me!
I turn around and look behind me.
And everyone kind of looks, and she's like pointing directly at you. It's him, the man that beat me and took my purse! And that's where we're going to end for the day.
Dephram knows.
It's on you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again for visiting us here at Wasted 20's. We hope you've really enjoyed the episode. I think it's been a lot of fun for us.
Murder mystery. Murder mystery.
There's a couple of things kind of spinning on here. Sorry, the tournament should be wrapping up here in the next episode or so. I hadn't anticipated on that taking so long, but I want all the players to make their own choices and move this along as fast as it needs to, or as slow as it needs to.
We're supposed to go off the script?
Right. Apparently no one there's a script here.
I didn't even get the script.
Me either.
That's why I've been going. Thanks. Wow, that's totally why I've been doing whatever I've been doing. Jesus, sorry.
But yes, tune back in with us next Wednesday as we continue our campaign through Hylesia with Wasted 20's. Bye, guys.
Wasted 20.